Today I have some good news and I have some bad news. So the good news is I just ate a whole pavlova for breakfast. I do not regret a thing. And the bad news is Pan That Face palette. So unfortunately, these have not had much use from me this month. We've got a little bit of progress. I feel like last month we did so much. We finished a shade and hit pan on a shade, and I feel like that means that this month I just naturally had to take a little bit of a break from these. I've expanded some pans, however, but I haven't hit all of my goals, but that's okay. Sometimes some projects get some momentum and then they kind of lose some. It's just ebbs and flows with these kind of things. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, like and subscribe. I upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup. Look at this look. This was one of those looks that I had the vision in mind. I got halfway through the eye look and then I was like, do I really want to ruin it with the orange? Ooh! It was a risk, but I think it paid off. I absolutely love this look. Let me know what you think down below. But with that being said, it's Pan That Face palette time. So if you are new, I have two Zoeva duos. I have two blushes, one bronzer and one highlight. I did finish off the bronzer last month and I hit pan on one of the blushes as well last month. So really amazing progress last month. But this month, as I said, we're taking things a little bit slower and that's all right. So I'm gonna start with probably the Spice of Life. This hasn't had as much progress on it, so I'm going to start with this one, get it out the way before we talk about some real progress. So this is what this palette looked like last month. You could see we had just about finished Sweet Relief, which was the bronzer. It was a bronzer with a little bit of a shimmer in it, which was perfect for me. I had used this every single day and I really, really loved it. So that was a big tick, a finished product. I was so happy about that. And then the blush, which is called Sinfully Delicious, did have a pan on it technically, but that was where my fingernail gouged into it, so I'm not counting that as an official pan. And this is what this palette looked like today. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see maybe some pan expansion in that blush. Obviously, we can't have any progress in the bronzer because it was already finished. Very minimal progress, I feel like, and yeah, this palette has me a little bit scared. So I've always said that this blush is definitely more of a warm summer, just like hot, bright weather kind of blush. I live in England though. I forgot to really consider that. It's raining right now. I've had my heater on. It is cold. It's not sunny here in England. We don't have a summer. So this blush is a little bit difficult to use because I feel like it's a bit much for every day right now. I don't know, it's just very, very bright, very loud, very warm, like red blush. So I'm kind of struggling to use it quite a lot. I would reach for this palette for the bronzer, and then whatever use on this blush would just be because I'd used it for the bronzer. Now that the bronzer's gone, it's getting difficult to reach for this palette, so I'm not too sure about the fate of this palette, unfortunately, which is really, really sad because this blush is beautiful. It's just trying to find the appropriate time to wear it when everything is so musky and dusty and grey and miserable. You can wear makeup whatever the weather, but I don't know, it just feels a bit meh for me right now. So I have used this only twice this month for a total of 10 uses all year, which is crazy low. Like, that is really, really low use. However, I'm kind of okay with it because the blush in the other palette does get a lot more use. So I kind of understand why this isn't being used as much. And also, I have done a everyday makeup drawer series. I just started that this month. I will link it up in the cards if you are interested. I do a shop my stash. I collect some little things that have been neglected. And I've been loving those blushes as well in my everyday makeup drawer. So these two blushes, I feel like I just needed a bit of a break from them this month. They're the only blushes that I've really been using all year, so it's just been nice to play around with my collection, get a few new blushes in, and that is also another reason why I've not particularly been working on these as much. So 2 uses all month for this whole palette. Technically it's a one shade palette now, but I'm not too mad. We finished a shade last month. I'm still on a high, to be honest, with that. So let's talk about some weight loss. This is interesting because I've only used this twice, but apparently last month this weighed 43.11 grams and this month it weighs 43 grams exactly, meaning somehow we have used 0.11 grams. I must have packed on this blush or my weight is wrong. Probably my weight is wrong. My scale likes to just throw out a random number. I might as well just use it as a random number generator at this point because I don't know what's happening with that. I have no idea. But this is the first blush. Not much progress, but I promise there is a little bit more progress at least in the second palette. So this is Cocoa Blend and I have a highlight and a blush in this palette. I had repressed the highlight last month and I had also just hit pan on the blush. This is what it looked like, just to refresh your memory a little bit. I was really proud of the progress in this palette and I still am, to be honest. My goal this month was to hit pan on this highlight again because, as I said, I had repressed it. It did have a massive pan in it, but it was just getting a little bit difficult and it was easier just to repress it. And I just wanted to expand this pan in the blush. I had made a massive dip in this, so I didn't think it'd be that hard. And this is what it looks like today. So I have not hit pan in the highlight, unfortunately. And I have expanded the pan in this blush quite a lot, which I am very happy about. But it definitely wasn't the amount of pan expansion that I wanted. I had a vision of like doubling this pan size, tripling, quadrupling, you know, amazing, incredible progress. It wasn't that, unfortunately, but you know what? That's fine. I'm giving myself a little bit of a break. So normally I'd be so bummed about this, but you know what? As I said, I'm happy giving myself a little bit of a break to play around with new things in my collection, play around with things that, you know, just don't make me think, oh, I've got to use my that palette. I've had a bit of a play month, and also I haven't worn makeup every single day either, so it's been a little bit of, you know, just a bit of an up in the air kind of month. So let's start with the dessert. I do have quite a big dip in this, to be fair, and I think I might have pan on this next month, even though I said that last month. I think I will this month, just because, yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see. Definitely in the progress pictures, hopefully anyway, there is a little bit of a dip in this, which is amazing. If I can get more of a dip in it, more use in it, brill. I would like to finish this by the end of the year. I think I'll be able to. I'm not too sure. I've used it 15 times this month for a total of 107 uses in the project. So I've hit that 100 use threshold. So that is incredible. We're going to power on though. We're going to power on and hopefully have this done. And then the blush Mastery of Chocolate. I've definitely expanded the pan somewhat, but it was very thin here. I've got a lot of very thin product around here as well. So I'm really hoping that next month I can get my teeth back into this, really start getting some progress. This blush is like perfect for this kind of weather. It's more of like a dusty, muted kind of blush, and it's definitely the one that I've been working on a lot more. So I have used this 5 times this month for a total of 51 uses in the project. Not much this month, not much at all, but as I said, I know why. I've had a play month. So last month, this palette weighed 43.62 grams, and this month it weighs 43.28 grams, meaning in the past month, this has lost 0.34 grams, which I think is okay. It's not like the best in the world. That's kind of average for what we use in a month. And I should say as well, this palette, so the Cocoa Blend since the start of the year, has lost 2.59 grams. And the Spice of Life from the start of the year has lost 3.63 grams. So we're pretty good. I feel like that's pretty good going. I feel like it's good progress. I am wearing these two today. I do feel like this palette is going to be like the main palette. This, as much as I love this blush, I was only really reaching for this palette for the bronzer. And now that the bronzer's done, I'm just kind of not reaching for it as much. This one, however, is like my blush highlight go-to. I reach for this, I'll use the highlight and the blush. So it's a little bit of a difficult one. It's a tricky one. I don't really know how the progress is going to go with this palette. I'm hoping that I get good use on it. I don't know. I'm not going to force myself though. This is definitely my focus palette for the rest of this year. So let's talk about goals. So I want to expand this pan. It won't be very hard. It is so thin in this pan. It's going to be fine. And hopefully, again, I'm going to put the same goal to hit pan on this highlight. As for this blush, maybe use it like 5 times. That would be fun. I'm going to try and find some sunny days to wear this, but honestly, English weather, it's like a worldwide joke. It is ridiculous. So who knows if that's going to happen or not. So here we go. Sometimes we just need months to just chill out a little bit. We need some play months, and that's definitely what I have done this month. I'm very happy that I have done that. I feel like I've refreshed my makeup play brain, and now I'm back to business. I love Pan That Face palette, even though it has been a little bit of a struggle. I'm still very, very happy on my progress on both of these throughout the year so far, and hopefully I can get a lot more progress in these palettes. Do you think I'll hit my goals this month? Let me know down below. How are you doing on your Pan That Face palette? Let me know all the juicy goss that you have for this month down in the comments. All your thoughts and opinions, I love to read them. And with that being said, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you today, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye!